to God, Sex, and Love. I'm your girl, Miracle Sims, and today it is time for Male Perspective. That's right, friends. I am going to do a nice little Q&A with my good friends, Ronyai and Neil, and we're going to ask them some questions from the Black Men in Intimacy book. So if you all are ready to see that, stay tuned. Welcome back to God, Sex, and Love. I am here with Ronyai. Hey, Ronyai.
Hey, what's up, Miracle? How we doing, beautiful people?
I'm good. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Oh, Lord, why am I getting choked up when I'm going to say this guy's name?
Yo. Yo, every introduction, it's like you speak with your fist balled up. Look at your hair right now, yo. See, what was that? I gotta throw a shot somewhere. Like, okay, go sip some water real quick. Go get some of your water.
What's going on? So, friends, you may or may not know, but I have been talking to Miss Therese Fleetwood, and she wrote a book called Black Men and Intimacy. Okay, Voices from Across the Dysphoria. It says here, real talk, real answers. So, what we're going to do today for the Male Perspective, gentlemen, is I want to ask you all some of the questions that she asked these gentlemen in the book. So, you guys ready?
Oh, yes.
We ready.
Definitely ready.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so she basically, asked about, how many men was it? Well, I just say a nice, good amount of men. She asked several different men, different age groups, everything like that, these questions. And, got their just natural responses and stuff like that. And so she basically put it into the book. So that's what she's done. And so we're just going to do a little piece of that and see what you guys have to say about some of these questions. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get into the first one. What you guys think? Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Ready.
All right. Now, I don't know if y'all want to flip a coin about who takes it first and all that. Like, y'all can work it out, man. All right. Okay. So the first question I'm going to ask you guys is, what is intimacy to you?
All right, Neil, do you want to do rock, paper, scissors on this one? Or you want me to go ahead and take it?
Let's do rock, paper, scissors. Come on.
All right, here we go. One, 2, 3.
Oh. All right, I did scissors too. All right, one more time. Yeah, you're going to be here for like 30 minutes. All right.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Wait, I be thinking like rock, paper, scissors, then you go. But you be counting. We like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover over here. You gonna go 1, 2, 3, go, or 1, 2, go? Like what? You could go for it. Go for it. Miracle, you choose.
I got it. It's all good. All right. So, what is intimacy? I know everybody is going to have a different answer. Some people are going to have different answers, but to me, intimacy is on different levels. This goes beyond physical, right? I feel personally, intimacy comes back to your relationship with God, the Creator, from creator to creation. And then you have the physical, but then you also have the emotional as well. I think that when it comes to Black men and intimacy, it's not really talked about as much, especially where I'm from and how I was raised. But now, since it's becoming more of a desiring topic, I think it's definitely needed to do that, so that a man must know who he is first and foremost before he actually connects himself with a potential spouse or a partner. For me, intimacy is beyond the bedroom. Intimacy is beyond the physical. for me, it deals with the mental, and it also deals with the emotional and the spiritual. I take those three areas very, very seriously. That's one of the things that my mother actually taught me growing up. My dad did to a certain extent, but I would say my mother took it a little bit deeper to where she always told me, you know, it's more than just physical. You always want to pay attention to the person that you're talking to, the woman, and to know that it's about her mind and it's about her emotion. If a man can connect to that woman mentally, emotionally, but above all spiritually, that's where you're really going to gain a lot of ground and have a common bond with that individual. So to me, it's deeper than the physical. That's intimacy to me.
Okay. Look, good answer. What about you, Neil? What is intimacy to you?
When I think of like intimacy, I think of like listen to me, kind of like pillow talk. You know what I'm saying? Without having sex, basically, or you know what I'm saying? Like, say if you're not married, basically. But I think, like, as a man, sometimes you just really want to be heard. Even though, like, yeah, I'm a man and my voice is always heard, this, that, and the third. But sometimes it's like, it's hard to, like, find a woman that you can, like, let your heart talk to. You know what I'm saying? Versus, like, you just using your voice and all that. But, you know, it's just another level of, like, so many, to me, like I remember I was reading this book, and it was like, it was saying how, like, men are like apples, women are like oranges. It's like when you peel an orange back, it's so many like layers to that one orange, and then you got the mist that every time you like dig into it and peel it apart back. But it was like with men, they're saying like, you know, their apples, like their exterior, you know, once you break the exterior, you know, it starts to brown a little bit. It's like the exterior is a little bit soft, but on the inside it's real hard. So it's like, I think intimacy on the level of like just being able to communicate like all your pain, stuff that makes you laugh, stuff that even as a man makes you cry, your insecurities, you know what I'm saying, inadequacies, your shortcomings, as well as, you know, victories and successes as well. Like being able to like really share with a woman like, hey, look, this is what makes me tick. This is what keeps me going. And being able to express that and not feeling like less of a man or feeling like kind of like, dang, feeling soft that you opened up about some real, like, you know, sensitive stuff about yourself. So that's what intimacy, as far as, you know, for me is. And it's something that is really like, it's worked up to. Like you really got to work hard. 'Cause I think as a man, it's a lot of levels. Like it's a lot of levels to women, but like to men, it's a whole lot of levels to a man too. Like you might not see them all.
That's right.
That's where I'm at with it.
Okay, I see. Look, all the ladies, are y'all taking notes? We taking notes? I know that's the thing. Like when I was reading the book, seeing all the different men and the, you know, the one question and the different responses that they got, as well as for me, it just kind of really wanted me to just really understand what my husband would think of these questions and what he would say. And so, because I know that one thing I've learned over the years is that, you know, every man is different, and, you know, I feel like there's a lot of generalizations made about men where it's like, oh, all men are this, but
right.
I'm learning in Brazil that ain't the case, you know. So I hope that, you know, encourages some people as well to go ahead and get that in you. Learn it, y'all, especially single people. But anywho, let's see what's another good question can I ask y'all. How about, what do you find attractive in women? Oh. Silence.
Okay. You want to take it, Neil?
All right. Okay. What I find attractive in women is like originality, like courage. Like, you know, sometimes I guess you might think like women are courageous too. Like women are bold, sometimes bolder than a lot of men. I like that. To me, that's attractive. I like a woman who's really just comfortable in her own skin. Like seriously, like just like this is me. Whether you like a business type of woman, like, and you just like assertive all the time, or whether you just kind of just laid back, whether you are a free spirit type of woman, like all that stuff, like however you are, like if you wear the high heels, that's that high, like yo, cool. If you don't wear heels, you like wearing flats, that's cool too. But just being comfortable in who you are and how you dress and how you express yourself, and you know, really like honestly, like just your love for God is to me like the core of it. To me, that's the sexy part about it. That's courageous in itself. Something you never even seen before. But I think, yeah, just natural. I'm gonna be honest with you. I might catch some flack for this though. It's like a woman who just loves her own hair. Like seriously, just however it grows out. Like yo, I will love it. I don't care what it is. Like I just want to touch it. You know what I'm saying? Like so, just little stuff like that. The simplicity. I know, you know, with a woman, it's a lot that comes with a woman because y'all are women, beautiful. You know, I took a lot more time creating y'all, in my opinion. But I just think having just that courage and that confidence to just be like you, unapologetically, 100%. To me, that's attractive.
Okay. Well, what you got, Mr. Ronyai? What do you find attractive in women?
I'm right there with Neil as well on the part of the security of a woman. I love the security of a woman. She is, again, comfortable in her own skin. She knows who she is in God and that relationship between her and her creator. I think that's a beautiful thing because I will say this, at times when I have been on having certain interests with certain women at the time frame, that was one of the turnoffs that I've had, was a woman who is very insecure about herself. So security is definitely important. Security of knowing who you are before someone else comes in and validates who you are. It should be you and God. God should give you that revelation to know that you're already complete in your own uniqueness, in your own greatness that he already poured into you and made into you and knitted into you when you were still in your mother's womb. I would also say intelligence is very beautiful. That's very attractive to me. Their heart is very attractive. Depends on where the heart is as well too, because again, I've dealt with some women where some of them had some selfish hearts. And some of them are very humble as well, you know, depending on the environment that she grew up in, the people who she's around, her influences, things of that nature. That all plays a very vital role in the making of who she is. Because I always tell people at the end of the day, this exterior, when we get up in age and everything, it'll soon fade away. But what do you have left? That's the most important thing, is to know who you are in God, your intelligence. Because for me, I've realized over the years that I'm not a fan of surface conversation. I go deep. And I love going there because if you're able to, if I jump on the different topics as we're getting to know one another and you're not afraid to go there, cool. Then you can definitely go with me. We can definitely have some really in-depth conversation and engagement, you know, because that's the thing that really stimulates me. Mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, those three areas are very important to me, always. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're 5'2", 5'10", or if you're brown skin, or caramel skin, or dark skin, it ain't no different for me. For me, it's like your heart, your intelligence, and your spirit succeeds everything past your flesh.
Hey, ladies. Hey, y'all out there taking notes, you know what I'm saying? Both of them gents are single, so I'm just saying, put y'all out there. Ooh. Sorry. Okay.
Oh my God.
I was like, call y'all out. For as far as I know, ladies. I don't know. Get them up on social medias.
You are not here. I promise. What was that? Like, oh, yo, then you pause for like 10 seconds, just gonna stay in here.
Yeah, stuck a pose.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Y'all good with these questions? Y'all want me to keep these questions going? What y'all? Or y'all tired of me already?
Let's keep going. I love it.
All right, let's see. Ooh, how about this one? What are you afraid of in relationships?
What am I afraid of in relationships?
Well, are you afraid of anything? I guess that's the question. What? But she asked in the book. She asked, "What are men afraid of in relationships?"
Good question.
Ooh.
I would say for me, it would be, and I have dealt with this before, not even before, but like several times. I would say, to know somebody and to get familiar with somebody as you're going through your process through courtship, and you two agree to have, exclusive relationship, anonymous, things like that. As you're building towards, hopefully, it would be marriage. To go for a certain period of time when you think you know somebody and then they pop up and then they tell you something which catches you off guard. To me, is like keeping secrets, and also manipulation is very huge for me because I've dealt with that pretty much all of my life. Through my childhood, through my adolescence, through my adulthood, and all of that, but it just came in different forms. I dealt with it through my family, but when it's transferred over to potential partner or potential spouse, now we're talking on a whole different level because now it's going to affect what we have going on, but it's also going to make me question, can I trust you, right? Can I trust you as we are building this thing called love and this thing called, we say that we know who God is, and we say that God is in the center of this relationship and these things. But when you find out that someone's been lying to you the entire time, that is what bothers me. That actually sets up a certain trigger in me a lot, and it's not fun at all. So manipulation, keeping secrets, and then also wanting to have control within the relationship, right? So that tends to bothers me a lot as well, where you're coming off very, very harsh and very hard for whatever reason. And then I begin to process these things in my own mind. And as I'm going through prayer and meditating on what's been happening, what's been taking place, when I reflect on matters like this is what really pops out, and I know that God always going to give me an answer. There's a revelation that's just around the corner that's going to let me know about this person. And when I get it, then it's like, okay, see, now I got a problem because you didn't tackle the problem in your last relationship, and you did not address those root issues back there, right? And then I've also have dealt with women who have carried luggages from one relationship to another, and it wasn't about the dating, and it wasn't about the relationship. It was about this root issue that you had going on further back in your childhood, dealing with, you may have trust issues growing up between you and your father or you and your mother, because we realize that our parents are the first role models when a child is born. So if we're not getting the right essential tools from our parents, then how are you going to know how to navigate through building a relationship with someone? And I mean, like, we're even talking about when you two get to know each other, acquaintanceship, friendship, courtship, engagement, then marriage. See, those are the steps right there. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's just to answer your question.
Okay. What about you, Neil? You got some things you're afraid of when it comes to relationships? He's like, yeah.
Yo, I just don't like scary women. I'm being, that's what it scares me. Yep.
Scary women?
Yeah, man. Like that's like, it's this thing you can be like, hey, y'all can be getting to know each other and all that. But it's like when it gets serious and they know it gets serious and you tell them like, yo, it's about to get serious, and they just get scared. It's like, this is too good to be true. Are you gonna break my heart? I'm so afraid of being in love. It's like you start to hear all these like things fly up, and I'm just like, can't you just go with the process? Like that right there, I'm like, yo, no. Like for that reason, I will never buy women any form of footwear. Yo,
where did that come from?
Yo, we all have a past, right? Yo, man.
No red bottoms.
Yo, I'm telling you, we all lived through some stuff, right? So me, I'm like, I bought a girl a pair of socks.
I feel you, brother.
And she slid. I bought a girl a pair of shoes. She strutted. I bought one girl a pair of sneakers and she ran. I was like, yo, Neil, there's a pattern here. I was like, yo, don't ever buy footwear ever again.
Wow.
Yo, I'm crazy like that though, but I don't. That's like my big. Cause like sometimes you know, as a guy, like depending on whatever the situation is, you might hear that, oh, like you're too good to be true, like you're so nice and you do everything the right way. It gotta be something wrong with you. Are you cheating, or is there another woman? Are you gay? Is it something? Like, and yo, like don't like me, I'm celibate, right? So it's like that's another factor too. It's like, say I'm dating a Christian woman or whatever, and it's like, yo, we both trying to like abstain from sex, and it's like, dang, I gotta deal with that. I'm trying my best. Then you gotta deal with like, well, why don't you touch me? Why don't you kiss me like this? And it's like, because this is gonna lead to that. And you said you want to wait, and I'm trying to respect you, but it's stuff just gets so complicated, and they're like, it just drives me nuts. That's what I'm afraid of, man. I'm like, I'm not, like, I've dealt with that more than one occasion, and just like, you just get tired. I'm like, yo, I do not want a scary woman. I want a woman that's like mature. I don't want her to react like a teenager. Like, you know what I'm saying? When a situation is real, it's like, yo, look, is that the last time you got your heart broke? Did you not mature past that heartbreak? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because as a man, like, yo, a lot of men become dogs because they get their heart broke. So it's like, yo, because the way you treated me, I'm going to treat every other woman the way you treated me. I'm going to take that revenge out on them. And that's what I've like had conversations with, like, yo, why are you cheating on your wife? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you having real conversations with people. So it's just, I don't want to get to that level ever of like, this is the last straw. Like, like I don't want to get there,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden I'm that guy. Like that's what I don't want. So.
He's telling the truth. I got to piggyback on what Neil said. That is so, thank you, brother. That's so real. And I can vouch for that man right there because I've been through it. I've had my share of that as well. You know, someone would just get up and run away, you know, and not really tackle the situation that's in front of them. And then also, just like what he said, that's the truth. Because I had a situation just like that as well. They know that you're trying to live a godly lifestyle, right? As much as you can, or try to, as we say, you know, walk on a straight and narrow path. But at the same time, people don't know, man, it is real out here. It's very, very hard. It's very, very testing. It's very trying. And we come across a lot of different situations, assignments, you know what I mean? Like real talk, if y'all don't mind me getting deep for a second, I'm gonna go there. I know for a fact that, you know, the enemy, Lucifer, he will send what you like and what you've been looking for in the form of a woman, and he'll send you just what you want down to the very detail of it, right? Out of nowhere. She gorgeous, everything. It looks like or seems like she got her head on straight, right? She carrying herself very well, and then all of a sudden she knows that you trying to live the righteous path, but at the same time, she gonna try to test you in that department. I've been there as well too. You know what I'm saying? I've even had some of them that I realize, and I'm so thankful to God first and foremost, because when you get the notion like I have, where I would hear, if y'all don't mind me saying this, I'm gonna say this on record, I have heard the Holy Spirit say to me, don't have sex with her. Don't sleep with her. Don't do that. Because sooner or later, right down the road, as soon as you two disconnect, I found out that some of them were actually practicing witches.
Because your love has set me free. I'm alive.
There's no time to get my nails done. Oh, I know. I went to unwindselfcare.com and got my 100% nail polish strips. Thanks, Unwind Self-Care.
For more information about Black men and intimacy, check out Threads Fleetwood at Luxury Romance Concierge.
Wild, okay? And that's not one time. This has been 2 or 3 times that has ran across my radar on my plate. And I'd be like, thank you, God, for looking out for your boy, because it's real out here. It's crazy. It's really crazy out here, man, for real. And it's
Really
like,
is,
they
yo.
know that you're trying to do the right thing. They know that you're trying to keep together. When they see what they feel is a successful Black man doing the right thing, you know, you're ambitious, you're driven, you got goals, you got things that you're going after. And, you know, for most women, they say, yo, that's attractive. I like that, you know, cool. But when it really comes down to having mature conversation about X, Y, and Z, and whatever that case may be, some of them, like I say, you know, some of them will run away, or some of them will come to you, and they know that you're trying to be disciplined in certain areas or in all areas, and they feel like they can just, let me press this button right here. Let me see how he'll respond. Let me press that button right here. Let me see how he'll respond. And that's exactly what they do. So some of them are on assignments like that. And it's like, well, you're not for me. So, and for me, like straight up, my prayer has always been, Lord, if they're not from you, if they're not supposed to be in my radar, wipe them off my plate. Remove them quickly. so I can keep on moving forward to the person that you have for me that actually understands exactly where I am. They're not a hindrance. They're not trying to block my view, block my goal of where you want me to go, what you want me to do, how you want me to do it. They're there as a partner. You know what I'm saying? The word says that she's supposed to be my help meet, MEET. This means that she is going to compliment me on the vision that God has given me to move forward in this life. So if she's not doing that, then I don't want her, straight up. And if you can't respect my position on that, then that's a deal breaker for me. Because if you can't respect who I am as a man and as a man that's trying to follow godly principles and trying to do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm a business owner, you know, I have some things established. So if you cannot respect me in that area of what I'm doing, especially when a man realizes that he's doing internal work, when you got to that place of healing as well, if we can't have that mature conversation, if you're not willing to work and support what I'm doing, then that's a deal breaker for me.
Well, ladies, maybe some of y'all ain't ready for these two singing. So
I can't with you.
You be having a ball, yo. Said, well,
I love it. I love it.
All right, well.
Oh,
I don't know, should we go spicy or not? Maybe we should keep it tame. This is Guys Sex and Love, but I mean, y'all was a singles men singing, trying to. We can skip this whole chapter. We ain't gotta go there.
Well, whatever you want to do, that's fine. I mean, we're up for that. You know, that's what it's for. You know, mature conversation. So.
True. But y'all don't know nothing about this here. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, how about this one? This might be a good one. Reasons why men cheat.
yo, I've never cheated. I've never cheated, so I could only give you what I've heard. That's it. Like I can't.
True. Same for me.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. That's a beautiful thing. So, well, tell me what the men folk told y'all why they treated then, or why they cheated then.
Because their wife ain't doing stuff they want them to do. Sometimes, like, they don't feel, like, valued as a man. They don't feel like they get the attention they deserve or that they want or need. Sometimes they feel like they're being belittled by their women. Sometimes the women might talk down to them. So it's like, yo, my coworker over here, she love the job I do. You know what I'm saying? And after a while, even if it's like a good dude, they can get worn down after a while. Like I don't care. Like you could be like, you got some men, they just out there like, yo, they just can't help themselves. Like, yo, they gotta tap whatever they see. You know what I'm saying? And that's just always in them. But then you got some men, it's like they start off on the right foot, like come from, you know, good upbringing and all that, and they value, respect women, and then they just get caught up. Like it's like when you, as a man, if you don't feel like a man when you go home, you're gonna go home to somewhere where you'll feel like a man. I just think it's unfortunate, but that's what I've heard.
Okay. Little inside information, ladies, y'all, but
Make that man feel like a man.
you go.
Yeah.
That's why
That heard. What you heard, Ronyai?
Well, I mean, I haven't heard, but I do know. So this is like close to home for me, actually, because my brother cheated on his girlfriend.
Okay.
Not once, but like several times, actually. And even through like cyber dating, and, you know, he struggled with a lot of different things as well. I don't know, this may be a little bit TMI for some people, but since we are mature and we all are reasonable adults, right? So this is what it's about. So I'm gonna just go ahead and go in. I discovered that my father's side of the family, they have a very high sex drive, right? So with that being said, what Neil said earlier, that is very true. If the man doesn't feel that he is quote unquote king of the castle and he feels secure, the attention is there, and not just that, but also like spending time with him. And for some men, and I know this because my father is one of them, and also my brother, most men, not all, but most men, they have to have affirmations spoken to them to reaffirm them and to know that they are important, they are great, they are this, that, and the third, they're handsome, et cetera, et cetera. You know, just a few words will turn a man around like 180, right? But back to the whole high sex drive situation. So my brother started off very well, just like what Neil said. Most men start off on the right foot, like my brother did, on the right path and everything. And sooner or later, after he left my parents' house, got out on his own, whatever, he just started to get wild. Started getting caught up in stuff. He was dealing with pornography. He was dealing with a lot of different things. He was cyber dating. So we found out. When I say we, I mean my mother and I. We had a conversation with my brother at lunch one time, and found out that we were all around the table. We were talking, and then during the time before he met his girlfriend, I guess fiance now, he had talked to some female through the internet, and they had connected. She had came from Miami, came up and everything like that. And it was one of them one-nighter situations, right? Mm-hmm. So what I discovered was my brother's girl, she's very insecure. She got insecure because when she had just divorced from her husband, and then a couple of years later, her and my brother, they had connected, they had met and everything, then they had started talking, whatever the case may be. She never addressed that issue the time that she had divorced her ex-husband. So further along, as they were dating and going through courtship, right? My brother was still in that zone of cheating on the side, whatever, because when she'll go back home to Detroit and then going back and forth, whatever, she didn't know what he was doing, whatever, but she ended up catching him in the act one time when she came over to the apartment. And what I found out was she had a key to his apartment. So, pops up and there's a female in the house. You know what I mean? So this wasn't the first time that he did that. It was like several times that he did that. And I think it was just a fact of my brother wanting validation from our father as well, because my father, he didn't have the greatest influences of male figures around him either, because he came from a broken home. So now we're talking, my father, years and years later, he had a very wild lifestyle, whatever, just did crazy stuff. He tried cocaine at one point and all this crazy stuff. So he went to jail for 4 years. He had lost his dream goal of becoming a professional NFL player. All that went down the drain and all that stuff. So when my dad, quote unquote, gave his life to the Lord, that was supposed to change the dynamic, right? But however, years and years later, as my brother went off and wanted to do his own thing, we discovered that my father said to him, "Oh, get you a piece and then come right back." I looked at him like he was crazy. Like, are you serious? You gonna tell him? You gonna tell your son? Sorry, y'all, I'm getting the camera. You gonna tell your son to get him a piece, and you said that you a man of God? What kind of foolishness are you? What kind of water are you drinking right now? Seriously? So it was a lot of misinformation. And when a young man goes into manhood and he wants the validation from his father, he's going to do anything and everything to get his father's approval. So that's what my brother did. So, like I said, if you don't tackle those issues now, what happens is that baggage that you're getting from your childhood going into your adulthood and different relationships, and you wonder why your relationships don't work, is because you didn't tackle those skeletons in the closet. So that's kind of, I'm trying to make it like a long story short, but coming back to the point of that's what happened. No, it wasn't right, and he did apologize for it, but every time we would have that discussion, he'll pop up with another story. And then another story pops up. And then another story pops up. So then, of course, that puts a lot of trust issues within the relationship as well. So it's been very, very rocky. So yeah, for most men who don't feel affirmed or appreciated or valued, that's going to become an issue. I've even heard also that when the wife has her child, et cetera, of course, the baby is going to be the most important thing in the house. So the husband got to take a back seat for a second, know his position. And the man gonna feel, well, hold on, you got all your attention on the kid, but what about me? But see, that goes back to the point of the security issue about knowing yourself and knowing who you are. So there's a lot of different dynamics that are in the situation, and that's what happens. So they have it.
Man, now, okay. Well, those are some reasons why, ladies. In case you're wondering why men cheat, there's just a couple of reasons that these gentlemen have observed. I just got a couple more questions. I don't know how long we've already chatted, so I mean, obviously, this one you can see the rest of it on the website. But I think I want to still ask, maybe give you guys the opportunity to kind of give your last words, but then I also want to just ask a fun one. So this is a fun one. I know y'all are single men or whatever, but I think y'all can, give some type of information. So, men folk, do men really want feedback in the bedroom?
I knew you was gonna ask that one.
You know, you ain't even know. Do you mean folk? Do y'all really want feedback?
I will say this. I feel like if you, as a man, I can only speak for myself. Mm-hmm. If you feel a need to ask, then I don't know. Like I just think like, hey, look, if you feel you want to ask, hey, baby, how was that stroke last night? Like, I don't like.
I don't know if the man is necessarily asking. Like maybe she's some type of feedback, or maybe she's.
I think there should be a conversation of what do you like, what don't you like, what I like,
exactly,
what don't I like, and how can we like make each other happy. I think that will like eliminate, cheating down the road on either side. Like I just think you should just always have an upfront conversation prior to
mature conversation.
And that's why I think, obviously in my opinion, like sex before marriage can be detrimental. Because on both sides you're trying so many different people. And it's like everybody's gonna have their best, and the person you may marry may or may not add up to that person. So now you gotta deal with all that. She ain't do this like such and such, or she ain't doing that like such and such, and now that's just locked up in here. So I think just a lot of times there's a lot of deliverance that needs to to happen prior to marriage. They gotta get the victory in some areas, and like really just having just upfront, genuine conversations. Because a lot of times, and this is going back to why some men cheat. It's like, yo, you was saying you was doing all this, and you like this, and you wanted this, and you wanted that, but when we get married, it just went like you're like, what happened? Was it me? Is it you? You just never liked it? Did I like not? Did I lose a step? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think like having like real genuine like dialogue, having a real conversation. Like if y'all like best friends, y'all should be able to talk because sex is a big thing. It is, but it's really not when it comes down to it. Like Ronyai was saying, like, yo, the flesh fade. After a while, you just left with conversations and personality and food. You know what I mean? Like, what you gonna do if your wife can't, like, if she has that baby, like, and like, you know what I'm saying? She got to heal up and all that stuff. And what do you do, like, if her hormones change and she's not into certain things the way that she was before? Not that it's any fault of her own. It's just, yo, having a baby changes your body. Talking off of personal experience, but I'm just saying, like, being real though. So it's like, what are you gonna do if sex just isn't the same? Like to me, like, what are you gonna do really when the marriage really starts? Like, oh wait, I can't have what I want anymore. Does this person lose value? Does the stock in my wife drop because sexually she's not doing the things she used to do or that I want her to do, and vice versa? And that's some real stuff that I think people gotta like look at because people will let sex just tank a whole marriage, which is ridiculous. I'm like, why did you even get married? Like, you know, to for better or for worse. Like, why you lie? You didn't mean it. You didn't have a heart for it. So why you even sign up for it, yo? So I think feedback is necessary, but if you go before you do it, I think that's more important than having feedback.
I agree. Absolutely. What Neil just said too. And just to add on to what he said, we're going back to the genesis of why God created sex in the first place, right? Because sometimes people don't even want to ask that question. That's the thing for me because I'm going to say this. I didn't say it like everybody, but I know that most young Black men growing up, their perception of what sex is has been distorted due to the fact of pornography and many other things that are out there as well, too. It distorts a lot of the original divine plan, what the Most High had already established from the very beginning, and the dynamic between male and female interaction, aka marriage. Fantasy will mess you up. That's what messed up a lot of people. Because you can think of one thing, right? But then I know Neil laughing about it, but like real talk though, fantasy will mess you up. Because you thinking of one thing and it's like, yo, I feel like Simba. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the Lion King. But boy, as soon as you had that conversation with her, boy, you feel like Rafiki. You know what I'm saying? Timon and Pumbaa, you know? And I'm like, that's not it. Not it, man. It's not it. Wrong thing.
You thought you was Scar. It's like, nah, bro, you Pumbaa. Like, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's real.
Exactly.
That is so true, though. That is so true. That's so true. Like, seriously.
For real. And it's crazy because it's like, you know, fantasy has taken over like crazy in a lot of people's heads, man. Like, it can really mess you up if you're not careful. You know, Time Magazine, I saw this article in Time Magazine back in 2016. A friend of mine had showed me this. And they had covered a big deal about pornography and how it starts. Like, you got young men that start at 8 years old, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And when their perception is distorted, you know, then it spirals over into their building relationships with women, and you thinking that, man, she gonna like me like this. But then she like, nah, it ain't even about that. because she's on another wave. She's on another dynamic. So we got to remove that fantasy, that structure. The thing that Lucifer messes with the most is the head. The Bible says God is not the author of confusion. And I feel like there's a lot of confusion in that realm. And we just need to bring it all the way back and just let's go back to the basics and the establishment of it. Because if you can't have a genuine conversation with the person that you really, really is digging and loving them inside and out and all of these things, you want to know, hey, sweetie, what turns you on? And when we say the word turn on, it don't always mean physically. You know what I'm saying? So it comes in different ways. Like Neil say, hey, yeah, when a woman gives birth to a child, there's going to be some different extremities there going on. Her physicality going to be a little bit different. All these things are going to take place. So what's really going to grab her and stimulate her in that moment? I had a friend of mine I had a conversation with, and we had a very, very, very mature conversation about it. And she said to me, she was like, hey, my man got a high sex drive, but I got a low sex drive. And I'm like, whoa, does he even know that you are like this? Because he's going to walk into the situation like, hey, me and her, we tight. But no, mess his head up just like that. So I feel that we need to have conversations like this, and we need to, again, go back to address the root issues of those matters, because when God created sex, it was more like the icing on the cake. That's like your benefit, like the cherry on top. But I'm going to use cake as an example, right? So if the ingredients to a cake, if they're not right, and that bundt oven, the little bundt that you put inside the oven when you get all the batter together and you're waiting for that cake to rise, if it doesn't rise, then your relationship is what? It's flat, just like that cake. So forget about the icing and, the garnish and the cherry on top and all that. None of that don't really matter, because once you remove the sex out of the equation portion of it, what do you really stand on? Because if those ingredients are not working within that relationship cake, then it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to remain flat. And I think also I've heard a lot of men, especially our brothers as well too, they use women like a test drive. What you mean by a test drive? She ain't no freaking car. What you talking about, man? That's ridiculous. Again, the perception and the genesis of what sex is, it's all been distorted. I know people right now, even some grown folks in our age bracket, that still are playing around. A lot of people have removed the step of courtship out. They want to go, like Drake said, 0 to 100 real quick. But when you do that, what happens? You miss out on all the steps that you need to understand what your partner is truly about. And they're missing the point. They like, oh, it's old school. We ain't worrying about that, whatever. No. I tell you what, go ahead. I've had a lot of friends of mine who have jumped the gun. They went from 0 to 100. They want to have that person in the bedroom that same night, whatever. And then you want to backpedal to get to know them. Hey, I don't know if you like hash browns or eggs.
Man, that's the truth, bro. That's so real.
You know what I mean? Like
what's your name again?
Yeah, what's your name again? What's your last name? What's your credit score? I don't know.
Oh wait, so we cousins? Like, oh, I didn't know.
Oh, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I'm like, are we gonna go there right now? Because this is so foul. It's messed up. People forgot what, back in the day they used to say foreplay. People don't even say the word foreplay no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, let's just get straight to it. You know what I mean? Like they just missed out on a lot of steps in between. You know what I mean? Now they want quickie and they want this, that, and the third, and all these different references, sexual wise. You know, so it's really, really jacked up all the way around. And it's just like when you don't do what God's instructions are telling you to do in regards of how the sensual and the sexual relationship is supposed to build between you and your spouse, you know what I'm saying, on that level, because you're talking about energy. You're talking about your spirit connecting with somebody else. Like, that's nothing to play with. I take that very, very serious. You know what I mean? And on record, by the way, I'm going to go on record again because I just had this situation last week with a friend of mine. I'm not going to say her name. Keep it confidential. But I knew this person for over 12 years. No, I'm not going to do it. Miracle, I'm not going to do it. 12 years. I knew this person. Sweetheart. Lover. And she had just got out of a marriage with someone. I know the person. I know her ex-husband and all that stuff. She called me up. I think it was like on a Wednesday night. She had called me up. And she said to me, she said, hey, Ryan, do you have time to talk for a second? I said, yeah. Go ahead. You good? Shoot. So she says, do you have she put it like this. She said, do you have the emotional withstand to withstand what I'm getting ready to tell you? I said, yeah, I'm good. You know, I got a lot going on, but what's up? Talk to me. So she breaks it down to me. She tells me, hey, I pulled the trigger. I just divorced from my husband, blah, blah, blah. You know, it ain't working. I tried, et cetera, et cetera. You know, we're not there no more. She had moved out of the house, moved to a further location away from the house, but they had a bad house in a beautiful area. Like, we're talking probably like over $100,000 house, $300,000, whatever. But gated community, all that stuff. So she left the house, staying with her cousin and all of that. You know, they had one kid together and all these things. They both came from separate divorces, came together equally. That didn't work out, so they split again. She said, well, this is what happened. This is where I'm at right now. She said, you know, I have checked out different men, and, you know, I went through the whole cyber dating, and I've had different men, you know, they're interested in me, whatever, but I'm just not feeling them. They're coming off wrong, whatever. I've been knowing you for a long time. I just wanted to ask you if it was okay with you. You may want to think about it. Can you be my sex partner? So,
I'm sorry.
With that being said, I told you I'm about to get real. So when she asked me that question, I said, I'm out running errands right now with my mama. She coming back to the car, so I'm about to call you right back on that one.
That was my mama.
So I'm driving down the road, having a conversation with God. Like, I can't believe she sat there and asked me that question. Are you kidding me right now? So like, if that's not an assignment to tell you, I don't know what. I don't know what to tell you, okay? That was an assignment from y'all know who. So I got back to her about 15, 20 minutes later, sat down, I called her back, and I said, okay, we're going to have this conversation now. And I had a few choice words for her. So y'all excuse me for all my saints out there watching. I had a few words for her. And I said, have you lost your mind? But I ain't say it like that, but you know, y'all get what I'm saying. I said, have you lost your mind? So I said, I'm flattered, but I'm not flattered at what you just asked me. That's not flattering to me because I take it very serious. I know that you don't want to, you know, jump from one person to another, and you don't want to, you know, feel the effects and, you know, the repercussions and all these things like that, right? However, I'm not feeling that, okay? And I'm going to let you know why I'm not feeling that. I said, you got to understand something. Relationships, I take very, very seriously. If we're doing this, I said, no. Like, we can't do this because I believe in relationship. I believe in monogamous relationship. It is sacred to me. You know what I'm saying? It is, for some people, it's holy. I know for me, it's holy. And it's spiritual. So it's just like you presented something, quote unquote, nice to me. However, you served it on a dirty trash can lid. That's what you did. So it's just like you had a 5-course meal sitting on top of a trash can lid, and you put everything in there that you want. But however, even though the presentation looks nice, it's still dirty. I said, I'm not going to do that. I said, I'm not going to disrespect myself. I said, that's no. And I said, yo, if I'm with somebody, I'm connected with somebody on that kind of frequency, on that kind of level, and we're talking about holy matrimony, we're talking about holy, like sacred, spiritual, all the way around the way that God intended. I said, I'm greedy. I don't want nobody else, all right? I'm greedy like that. That's just how I am, because I believe in a monogamous relationship. Y'all may think I'm new school all the time, but I'm definitely old school. I still got old school ethics. I grew up around a lot of male figures that believe in old school. I learned from my grandfather. I learned from my elders. I learned from my uncles and things like that, you know, of how to treat a woman this way, and et cetera, et cetera. Or a matter of fact, I even go further and go deeper with y'all. I talked to God. I said, God, you tell me and show me, what is your definition of sex? And I'll follow that plan. Because I want to know, because we've tried it all different kind of ways. We've been curious, this, that, and the third. We done went left, we went right. We thought we had it right, and it's wrong. So I say, you know what? You can have the will, because I don't know nothing. And I'm not trying to mess that up. But I knew exactly where she was going with it. But I told her, I still love you like a friend. I adore you like a friend, but I can't do that. So no.
You know what though, Ronyai? You probably was the right one for her to ask, because you gave her that right there, and that's what she needed to hear. She probably don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But anybody in that type of situation, that's what they need to hear. So you probably
No, you're right. Absolutely.
Like my first response, did she know you? Like, and I mean, I know we only known each other a short time, but I'm like, why would you even ask him that though? But you like, no,
right, exactly.
Yeah, especially if you said all that, then you know.
Yeah, but in her perspective, she felt as if she is not broken. She's not fractured or anything like that. When I say fractured, I mean like mentally, spiritually, etc. She don't feel that way. She still feels whole. She looks at it as if, oh, I got an itch on my back. I need to scratch it. Can you scratch it for me? Okay, cool, thanks. Not a problem. I said, I don't look at it like that, yo. I don't look at it like that. Sorry to tell you that, but no, that's not me. So I got to pass, sweetheart. I got to pass. So no.
That's good stuff.
Well, kudos, bro. You know what I'm saying? Real men out here, y'all. These unicorns on the line right now. These.
She gave me the black unicorn, yo.
Guys, man. Listen,
I'll take the black unicorn. I'll take the black unicorn. That's cool. I can do that. I can dig that. I don't know about you, Neil, but I can dig that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, we got two black
I don't even
men
know what a unicorn is.
talking real good. Well, y'all, you know I can talk to y'all all night. Y'all know it already. But I just say for the record, thank you all for answering some of these questions from the Black Men in Intimacy book. If anybody wants to, get in on that, that's Therese Fleetwood. All right, check her out. Well, yeah, man, thank you so much, Neil and Ryan. Yay. Again, I mean, okay, is there anything y'all want to say to the people before I let them go? What y'all want to say?
The marriage bed.
I would probably say like, yes. Say it, Neil. Say it. Say it one more time, Neil. Say it.
Said the marriage bed is holy and undefiled.
Yes.
Just wait for it, man. Just wait. It ain't worth it. It really ain't.
That's the key word, yo. Like, waiting is so important. I'm reminded of the passage in the Song of Solomon. I want to say it's around chapter 4, verse 8, where he's talking to the women in Jerusalem. He said, daughters of Jerusalem, do not awaken love before it's time. And I'll say the same thing to the fellas as well, too. Don't awaken love before it's time. It's not worth it. And whatever your perception is of what sex is or what love is, whatever, I would say put your questions on trial, put your thoughts on trial, and ask God about it. No, it's cool to have a psychologist and a psychiatric and a life coach and all these things to ask them, but I say above all, ask God, because that's the one who made it in the first place. So that's how I see it, you know what I'm saying, in that perspective. Like, and love yourself. Love yourself. Take time out for yourself. Stop jumping from one relationship to another, like back to back, like 6 months later, you in another relationship, and then you out of that relationship, and then another 6 months, you in another relationship. Like, come on, man, stop. Don't do that to yourself. Treat yourself better. You deserve it.
Yeah, get to know you.
Yeah, get to know yourself first, man, and like get rid of those issues that have been plaguing you for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? Because what you are not aware of is you are hurting your potential spouse that God has for you by you carrying all these different baggages, this emotional baggage, childhood generational issue baggage, trauma baggage, triggers baggage, you know, all this stuff, man, is crazy. Like, don't do that to yourself. Please love yourself. That's why I take my time out for myself. Yes, I've been to myself for over 10 years, and I'm all right with that. You know, I've dated in between, whatever. Stuff didn't work, but it's all good. I'd rather love myself and work on myself. So when it's time, I ain't got to worry about that no more. That's been put to bed. No pun intended.
Well, that's all for God, Sex, and Love tonight, y'all. See y'all next week.
If you like what you hear, then consider supporting our podcast. Every listener that supports us for $9.99 a month will be entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win a free gift. So become a supporter today.